Well, howdy there, folks. Welcome back to Stewie MTG, and today we have Lynde, Cheerful Tormentor. 1 blue, black, red for a 2/4 human warlock with Death Touch. Whenever a curse is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return it to the battlefield attached to you at the beginning of the next end step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may attach a curse attached to you to one of your opponents. If you do, draw 2 cards. So this is Curse Tribal. And with that, with Curse Tribal, let's take a look at how we're actually going to cast these curses. So for a bit of ramp, we've got Dark Ritual, Obelisk of Grixis, Talisman of Dominance, Dimir Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Izzet Signet, Rakdos Signet, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Commander's Sphere. And that allows us to start casting these curses on our opponents. If they do end up falling off, getting cards from Lynde. We've got ourselves Curse of Opulence, Trespasser's Curse, Curse of Shaken Faith, Curse of Stalked Prey, Curse of the Bloody Tome, Curse of Leeches, Curse of Chaos, Curse of the Restless Dead, Curse of Disturbance, Curse of the Nightly Hunt, Curse of Verbosity, Curse of Shallow Graves, Curse of Wizardry, all nice and shiny and special, Curse of Oblivion, Curse of Misfortunes, Curse of Thirst, Curse of Death's Hold, Curse of Obsession, Curse of Bloodletting, Curse of Unbinding. Then we have some more not direct curses, but since we're looking at taking out our opponent's creatures, not just directly with these curses, but with enchantments. And we're going to do that with things like Vow of Flight, Vow of Lightning, Vow of Torment, and the Impetus series as well. Shiny Impetus, Parasitic Impetus, and Psychic Impetus. There's just 2 normal, quote-unquote, enchantments. Curse Artifact. Since this is a Curses deck, no, it's not an enchant curse, but just for the theme. And in fact, it's always great when you can include a card from the Dark. The Dark had come out just shortly after I really started getting into Magic. And so the Nostalgia City right here with Curse Artifact. And Court of Ire. Great opportunity to get the Monarch, maybe some extra cards, and maybe dealing some extra damage. We'll see. With that, we have a few other artifacts to help us on this journey. We have Nettlecyst. Since we have all of these enchantments and artifacts in the deck, Nettlecyst is actually going to get pretty big. And to protect our commander, we've got Swiftfoot Boots. And if we want to kind of Voltron going on here, we've got a Helm of the Gods. We're going to have a lot of enchantments that we either control or own. Just a few creatures. Kind of one of the setbacks of this deck is we need to put those impetus and enchantments on our opponent's creatures, make sure they're not swinging at us. But we need to have a few creatures on our end as well. Same thing here with Shoal Kraken. Just some card selection with that constellation keyword there. Bitterheart Witch helps us go search for a curse that we need. Shrine Steward helps us look for, once again, an aura to be able to take care of some of our opponents. Accursed Witch, once again, mainly want to transform her, but hey, an extra mana, it's a, what's that new ability? Where it costs extra mana to target the creatures. Well, Accursed Witch already had it. And Blightcaster. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may have target creature get -2/-2 until end of turn. With as much enchantments as we're going to be casting, they're going to need to get rid of Blightcaster before we wipe their boards. With that, we have a few card draw spells in the form of Diabolic Tutor, the only tutor besides creature tutors, and Painful Lesson, Read the Bones, Sign in Blood, and Fact and Fiction. Fact or fiction. Well, it's really fact and fiction because often we create the narrative, don't we? Just a few targeted and board wipe removal spells. We've got ourselves a good old counterspell. Negate, Feed the Swarm, Raven Form, Chaos Warp, Blasphemous Act, Vandal Blast, Terminate, and lastly, Rakdos Charm. And hiding back here is the non-basic lands. We got ourselves a Rocky Tar Pit, Myriad Landscape, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Bajuka Bog, Molten Tributary, Volatile Fjord, Crumbling Necropolis, Command Tower, Contaminated Aquifer, Ice Tunnel, Tainted Isle, Sunken Hollow, Darkwater Catacomb, Temple of Deceit, Geothermal Bog, Sulphurous Mire, Smoldering Marsh, Shadowblood Ridge, and lastly, Temple of Malice. With that, this has been Lynde Curses. I'm glad you guys could join us. Once again, thank you for helping me reach over 100 subscribers at this point. Unfortunately, YouTube's rules on giveaways is rather stringent, so I'm going to be really needing to look into that in order to do one of those to kind of celebrate. But with that, thank you very much. This has been Stewie MTG, and we'll catch you all later.